Hello and welcome. It is the 24th day of May 2019. This is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. But I'm mainly going to be talking about shit coins as there's been some delistings that have occurred. Again today on Bittrex, all of them containing significant losses down, two of which amongst the hemp coin variety, including that of THC. But before that, Bitcoin's holding in there really, really well amongst the 18 average of highs right now. But THC down to 55. It was up to 600. And when we look at everything in play, I guess I'm just going to remove these lines because, well, GG, game over. I mean, price action was cheaper down here. So technically, if you bought here at 5 or 30 Satoshi, you could sell for a profit and then miss in all of this kind of action. So risk versus the reward, and there's the reward situations, and when you have them, if you started in here and you're done today, well, you end up profiting. At least I don't see how you couldn't. Big move in here. Now if you started in here, then maybe you're going to get it with a small loss, a break even, and uh, uh, yeah, you see it go from 600 now down to 55. But what do you do with your THC now that you got them? You can sell them on the market, get whatever price, and then turn it into Bitcoin and do whatever. Oh, sure, of course. But that means somebody's going to be buying those THC. So what are they going to do? Well, technically speaking, unless you can probably to some sort of a wallet they have, it's not traded on any other exchange right now. Next up is Neos, and even before the decline, this was just going down precipitously. Did I say that right? Okay, well, above 3,500, maybe even more. Yeah, even closer to 45, down to 1350. That's before the announcement, now down to 500. Same thing as THC. You're in at this. Okay, back in here it was like 839. Oh, I got in. I'm going to get out for a small loss. Really? Okay. But during these times, people were buying the prices up. And what was the whole point of these coins? What were they trying to assemble within the coins? I never, I don't know. I know that it's an instrument to buy and sell, and you can see how profitable it has been. And then when the coin has its move to go to nothing, well, this is what we're seeing in 500. Well, who knows after this? But there's again, this is not traded on another exchange. I don't think anyway. One was on Waves, and then there might be a tiny one for one of them, but nothing you can do with it too much. Why are they delisting it? Well, did they developers just not follow up with something they need to do? Was the signs of it being a shit coin, a fraud coin, a scam of some set in play, thus now bringing it to an end? I don't know. As far as Tokes is concerned, when we take a look at that one has also been delisted. It's down to 991. It was at 4,000 and losing well over four times its value. And even from yesterday's false breakout, I think probably the hour time frame is the one I want to see it on. Yeah, just somebody coming in. How's that person feeling now who bought all of those coins up to like over 6,000? And then this happens. Well, risk versus reward. And you're taking more of a chance like this when you're playing a crypto called Tokes versus something compared to Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Ethereum. Much larger risk versus reward parameters on the two. And next up is the XBY, which is on the coin exchange, which is something that's really weird, really fishy. And it all started mainly on January the 14th when Cryptopia had the security breach. And it was a monopoly there. The only place you could trade XBY was on there. And then they go down. But into February, maybe a month later, that it gets on Coin Exchange. However, anyone who had coins on there, and that was a decent amount of the supply there, and definitely the vast majority of the traders' supply, people who are interested in actually selling, and even for that matter, buying, having their funds on that exchange. And Well, that's a negative game changer. As now, of course, the only ones who are going to sell on here are those who had coins to begin with on the hardware wallet and to bring it on. And then after that, you can add in people who bought on here, who are often more of them are going to sell for a loss. Those are the only people that can sell on here. It's at 117 now, of course. And a lot of things were big things were supposed to be gone, different things about patents. I've done a lot of research, and it seems a lot of people are unhappy within the fact that, okay, what's taking so long? And I have to tend to agree, especially with all that's going on. If no fundamental news and really tangible situations able to come up with it, then this has got no choice but to keep grinding its way towards the downside. I don't see why any investing interest is going to come in on this. The security breach already a negative issue. The small exchanges, now you see what happens when a company like Binance gets hacked versus a company like Cryptopia. Cryptopia gets hacked, and look what happens. And Binance gets hacked, and they're fully functional a little over a week later. And now this is on Coin Exchange, and yeah, that's the security on that. Knowing that that's the only place it's traded, it just seems that there's, to me, I wouldn't enter into a position for this now, but I'm holding five figures of this, barely over, but decently over, and they're all free because I did manage to be able to sell at these peak areas, and even well, just even here, so many. I think even down in here, wherever, so many different spots. I can't remember all the different spots. Originally, I was buying in the low area here, and then you'd end up buying in the low points here. Sold a little bit at this top, but even just exiting out, I've sold it down to 130. What I did is I bought a significant portion, and I ended up selling down about probably about half of what I owned, maybe 40%, guaranteeing that what I own is, well, basically the amount of my net buys in Bitcoin is a smaller number than my net sells. So I can't lose on it, but I technically can lose what I'm holding back. That, of course, could be into something else. Because if nothing goes on, we've had now Cryptopia just recently in here. Yeah, okay, now we're going out of business. The liquidators are coming in, and it's going to be months and not other than weeks before it gets resolved. So are we talking Christmas? Are we talking 2020, 2021? And in such event, this to me does not seem, unless they can get something out on the market. And if it does, it's going to shoot up really high. They are a registered company, so that makes it very interesting. If it's something like, okay, basically a good project versus a scam project versus a good project, good intentions, and failing at the same time. Those are the three scenarios, only one of them, of course, being too positive for investors. And then you've had coins before getting delisted, like eBoost. Was at 500, now at 44. I think this one, I don't know if it got devalued, for it's just getting its ass kicked. Circuits of value 9 Satoshi. Heck, even broke through this 11 number. Didn't have much of a gap bounce from there. But when you look at something like this was at 500, 600. And if you look at it in dollar terms, this is a market that was trading at a high here of 3 point. That, yeah, 3. No, it doesn't make sense. Has to, though. Open of 0043, high of. Okay, 30. Yeah, that makes sense. So 3.5 cents here. Here is 5.1 cents. Now it's uh, 0.00. So it's 7% of a penny. 7.2% of 1 penny. If we go to something like the THC, and that's what happens with an 11 Satoshi or 10 Satoshi coin, its value against the dollar then and now. Well, right now, it is 0.004, it looks like. So less than half a penny, more than two for 1 penny. And at the high, I see like 71 cents, 77 cents here. So over 200 times down against the US dollar. But still technically up from these 2015 lows. And that's the sick part about this. But when you have these kinds of moves, what was done for people to drive interest into bringing it in? And I don't know the history upon it. Was there any type of promoted pumps and these types of things? And then, of course, I say this with this one, there's over 2,000 cryptos out there. How many dozens, and probably even more importantly, hundreds of those coins have active people trying to influence these up and down actions as they occur? But again, regardless of the fact, if you're into these types of coins and they have these gains, I don't know how one can have values. Like if you're in back here and it's, oh, yep, 7 for a penny, and then you're in here, oh, it's going up. How much is it? A quarter, 40 cents. Oh, so you're up like 250, 300 times. You're going to sell or like what? Come on. And and when markets go up like this so fast, so high, why people are buying at those levels? It's like in here, okay, you're in a sideways range, I understand. And of course, at this point, you were in a sideways range at. I'm going back in here, but even in here, that's. I mean, you're in a bear market trying to correct the move at this point. But see in here, you've had a nice little up run. You've had a lot of this resistance. So you were way overextended at 1.3. So if you waited for it to settle in, the best lowest price you got here, and you had enough time for it to do just that, settle into this point where what was a very extended level became a very highly area of resistance where if you break it, big move. And of course, you can see in which it did. It showed a lot of strength before this move occurred back in the time frame. So if you're doing technical analysis, 2-3, it's a good time to buy, and there you go. And in the spot here is okay. So now the further you go up, it's like, why are you buying? I mean, you buy on the early stage for the gain at like 4 cents and all that. I understand that. And if you were buying down here in this pullback on any of those ones, the higher it is, the more dangerous it is to buy on the pullbacks. But you should have profited all of those pullbacks. But why would you be buying up on this raise in here? Why would you be buying up towards these levels when it's just going up so fast, so furious? You got to think of where you came from. And in such, more times than not, if you see a market like this that's up, the chances that in time that it goes down significantly lower is good, even if it's not immediate, because it can go up like many folds higher, go up to like 350 and then pull back to 25 cents. A lot of times markets have done that, but the whole point is try not to get in the habit of buying when a market looks something like that. And it's overextended, and then obviously you're going to have your pullbacks. So you have a situation here. If there's a little bit of a failed breakout here and then failed moves, times bring fast ones to the downside. There was a big failed move here, big fast move down, another failed move up here, and that was the last one that it had. A little bit of one in here. Actually, I can't say that was the last one because this was one sure heck of a good rally higher. And so again, on this whole point, you break this level of resistance. Maybe you might make a case, well, it was good to buy at 15.4 here. And I can see why you would say that based on a small level above established. And, well, I think it's going to be a fast move higher. In this case, it was. I hope you sold. And you have this move. Okay, well, how does it correct it? Well, here it has this shut. Successful so far. Retest. It doesn't have to break it immediately. Oh, well, there's the weakness at the 18 and the failed move. And then, of course, now it's over for this coin. But when it comes down to it, when you play coins like this, you get the volatility, you get the opportunities for those sick moves higher. that you're not going to get when you just hold like Bitcoin. And then when you play coins like Ethereum and Litecoin and Ripple, you get more volatility than Bitcoin will arise with. But at the same point, each time you go down in market cap, then you're going to have increased risk of maybe that coin getting its ass kicked while cryptos do well. Because are we really going to have a game where all of these coins that are out there are going to survive? Let's just take a look at a bunch of them to complete this video. So this is where the top losers are. So there we got Tokes down 75%, Hemp Coin down 71, and Neo's down 61. 2Give down 25. I think that was taken off. Like, who's going to use this? This Lunar's been around for a long time. Is it going to go? Cannabis has already went. It's down to 17 Satoshi. Geocoin, I think, I don't know if that's gone, but GoChain, I'm into that one, of course, but it's a newer one. But again, same thing. Is it going to, like, what's its whole purpose? Why do we want to have it? You know what? I don't know, but that's why my risk level on this is very, very small. In fact, as far as my portfolio, I got most of it in Litecoin and Bitcoin, some DGB, some Bitcoin Cash, some Theta, and well, the Go and the Komodo as well. Although that's one of the top ones of the 12 others. But the Go, Komodo, the XBY, they're part of the 12 others. The Sky, the Neo, and stuff like that. But the majority of the coins are the ones that I consider the safers, the staples, and then trade them the best I can to keep on increasing my portfolio. But this gold coin, is this actually backed by gold? Like, how does that actually work? What's a Boro? What's a foresting? Function X? Nexus has been around long around time. So was THC. Salt, that's been around for a bit. DNT, what do we use that for? XYO, Vericoin, don't. That's been around for a long time. And then we have a dope coin is getting its ass kicked. Waves, that's been around for a while. Sib coin, like what are these things? Ubic, that's been around for a long time. Spendcoin, 8, I'm in that one. And that could go to nothing too. 1.57 volume. It could be delisted anytime. And oh my goodness. Good thing it's one of my lower owned coins with that. Navcoin is an Expanse, have been around for a while. There was a Counterparty XCP that got delisted all over the place as well. BankX, Syndicate, Vibrate, Dragon Chain. Bitcoin SV, that's an interesting one. Uh, I've never even heard of Oregon Trail, but that just got listed. That got listed like 2 months ago. Potcoin. Did this one still surviving, or is this? It's 200 Satoshi. I think this got delisted on Poloniex a little whiles back, but I don't have any of the delisting thing. But this one could be next. It could be. I don't know. I mean, all the other ones seem to be going. And any of these coins in here, it's not like this is any type of uptrend after this here. The industry getting its ass kicked, of course. From this high down it goes. And this is a log scale, too. And you can get proper log scale on these, which is pretty damn cool. But you can see it's been nothing but terrible for it. I don't know if 7 Day would have more data. It has a little bit more, but again, you're down here. You have the profits. That's why you got to learn. I think that's why I myself, as a trader, make sure that if I have these peak moments, I'm going to be selling, and then if I can have at least have a good moment like this, how can I be a loser on this coin from its overall net game? Meaning, if I got into this down in here, I'm way up here. I'm way up at these lines, and from this point in here to now, I'd be down, holding what I am, but my net overall gain should obviously be my net sales are much, much higher than my net buys. So let's go back again and take a look. And now let's take a look at some of the best gainers. What do we have for up ones? Like CashBet. And I think this one's delisted as well. It's got no volume on it. I think that's delisted. eBoost is. And not just people buying to get out. I don't know. It's gone from there. Sequence has been around for a while. Ocean Protocol, like why do I need that? Myriad's been there for a while. A play chip, is that for some sort of game? I gotta mention Circuits of Value. No Limit Coin. I know what that one is because I've played on their fantasy site before. That's 132 Satoshi. It's a real team, and if I guess if the company survives, it might hang in there. But they got to get people onto their fantasy site to play, and if they can, who knows? It could be a great coin. But I do know that at least they're definitely a registered team, but so is XBY. But the thing is with XBY again, why didn't they get on Bittrex or Poloniex or Binance? And at least No Limit Coin did. But again, just because you get on here, I mean they delist coins over and over and over again. Litecoin, well, that's my favorite, of course. But it's like a Bitcoin. I know what it's used for. I can explain that. Like, why do I use circuits of value? I don't know that, but I can give you answers to this. Elf, I don't know on that one. Moby, TTC, I got a little bit of that. That's just fooling around. It's really my lowest of the whole things of everything. Elastic, Edgeless, that's supposed to be for some casino, like plays the game, but I don't even know how. It's I don't know about that one. Folding coin has been down around for a while. It's at 16 Satoshi, so I mean, and there's so many of these around, but they could go to nothing at any given point. Like it almost seems like this already is at nothing when you look at where it's played out. 16. What was the lows before here? 27, 30. I mean, this is at all time lows as it is anyway. And if this is going to go be delisted, well, the bid, I mean, 17, 16 is pretty much going to go to 1 and 0. Maybe it goes 2 to 1, 3 to 2, 1. But yeah, anyway, thank you for tuning in. But just be careful playing any of these types of coins because they obviously. There's a lot of people trying to do scamming in this business, and you got to realize that, well, some of them are going to just show the true colors, if you will. And even for the whole cryptocurrency game itself, that's why I'm going to make sure I keep on profiting, always having what I think is the best strategy at the time, which is why cryptos do well. I want to be able to use it in what it's supposed to be used for, that is money, buy precious metals, that sort of deal. Make sure that I have that as well. Because if there ever comes a time where cryptos do fail, then I want to make sure that I'm going to be fine. But at the same point, by having the ones that I do, try to build a bankroll within the game and playing these types of coins, you most certainly can do it, but you can also have a higher chance of losing it. For if you were getting in here thinking the market was so cheap at this price in here, you got a few sales, you're buying back, but even when you're down in here, you're like, oh, hey, we're down at this point in here, I'm still at even because of all my selling, and well, now you're losing. Obviously, that's part of the risk versus reward. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye bye.